back and welcome to my outdoor series where I'll be sharing helpful tips for beginner hikers. Also, if you live in San Diego or you're visiting San Diego soon, I will also be sharing different hiking trails in and around the city, as well as my favorite tips for visiting national parks. So in today's video, I will be sharing 4 helpful tips to help you choose the best hiking shoes. Another thing I want to mention is that you do not need hiking shoes to get started with hiking. What I recommend is going onto Google, going onto AllTrails, searching for easy, flat, paved trails in your city or in your area, and start with those. They don't have to be paved, but I recommend just starting with something that's flat and you can wear regular tennis shoes with. I would recommend hiking shoes once you are really starting to get into hiking and you're wanting to do more inclines, trails that are a little bit more rocky. That's when I really would recommend hiking shoes. So again, if you really are just going to be doing like regular, just flat walking trails with not a lot of changes in terrain, then just regular, tennis shoes will do. There are also hiking shoes that are made that are similar to like regular walking shoes, but they're just for hiking, so you can also do those as well. But again, you don't necessarily have to have those just to get started. So before we get into my 4 tips, I want to show you guys my first pair of hiking shoes. This was my first pair of hiking shoes that I bought. I actually bought these when I was living in Maryland. Maryland, if you guys don't know, has a lot of different hiking trails. That was kind of my first introduction to hiking outside. Growing up, I hated hiking. I hated being outside. But as I've gotten older, I've really realized how therapeutic hiking is. So I truly enjoy being outside. So when I was in Maryland, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get into hiking. So I went out. I went to, I think it was the Merrell outlet store, and I bought these shoes. And the reason why I bought them is because I loved that they had this high ankle support. Because I am kind of clumsy, and also when you're hiking you can tend to roll your ankle just because of all the different rocks and stuff that you have to climb over. So I really love the ankle support. Also, these shoes had really good grip. The grip is kind of worn down now because these are well worn, but I love the grip. These shoes were also waterproof, which I really loved. I didn't realize the value in having waterproof shoes until I started hiking, getting more into hiking. But I love that. And so, yeah, and these were also very comfortable. They kept my feet warm. Even when I was hiking in different climates, they would keep my feet warm and dry. So yeah, I really love these shoes. Okay, so now that I've introduced you guys to my first pair of hiking shoes, let's get into my 4 tips for helping you choose the best hiking shoes for you. So tip number 1, I highly recommend going to an outdoor store to actually try on hiking shoes. So I recommend going to REI. REI is one of my favorite stores. This video is not sponsored, by the way, but REI is one of my favorite outdoor stores. And the reason why I love REI is because they have a large selection of hiking shoes, as well as they also sell different socks and different other accessories that are great for hikers. So I really recommend going to a store like that. Also, they can help you choose the best shoe for you because a lot of shoes are just made differently. Some people have wider feet, some people have, bigger feet, some people need a lot of arch support, some people don't. So that's why I really recommend going to an actual store to try on hiking shoes. I will also say one of the benefits to going to a actual outdoor store is that they will show you the best way to actually tie your hiking shoes. Yes, there is actually the right way to tie shoes. I didn't really realize that there was an actual way to tie them until I went to the store and I was trying all these shoes on, and the guy was like, oh, you're supposed to tie it all the way up to your ankle, and there was like there's a whole technique behind it. Didn't realize that. I also didn't realize that there were actual hiking socks, socks that are designed to keep your feet dry when you are hiking, also designed to keep your feet warm, and they are different from your regular everyday socks that you would wear with your tennis shoes. My second tip is to make sure that you get hiking shoes with a good grip. This is very important because as you are getting more into hiking, you will notice that there'll be some rocks that might be slippery. Some of the terrain when you're having to climb and you're having to go uphill, or even downhill. You are, let's say you hike after a rainstorm, the ground will be pretty wet, so having a good grip is very invaluable. It'll keep you from falling. My third tip is making sure that you get shoes that have really good ankle support. Several times, I can't even begin to tell you how many times I hiked and my ankle like twisted a certain way. Now you may not have that problem, you may not be as clumsy as I am, but there's been several times where I've hiked and my ankle has rolled, and what saved me is having shoes that have that really good high ankle support. And again, when you go to these outdoor stores, when you mention that, they'll help you find the right shoe with the right level ankle support for you. Some people might not need the ankle support, but again, I do recommend it just because there are times where you might have some twisting to your ankle, and that having the extra support really helps. Okay, my last tip is making sure that you get waterproof hiking shoes. So again, as I mentioned earlier, I never really knew how important it was to have waterproof hiking shoes until I actually was hiking and it was a beautiful sunny day. There was no reason for me to even have to walk in water. It was not raining, there was no snow, like none of that. And I was walking on a trail and I didn't realize there was actually a creek that crossed over the trail that I was walking. And then I had to walk through that trail, walk through the creek to get to the other side of the trail. But thankfully I had on waterproof shoes, so I had no problem with that. Another time when I was hiking, I went to Zion National Park. There were several trails that I had to kind of walk around like some water or walk through some water, and those hiking shoes really saved me with them being waterproof. So again, I recommend getting waterproof hiking shoes. All right, y'all, so that's all the tips I have for y'all today. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, please share it with a friend, especially if you know someone that's interested in hiking soon and has never hiked before. Please share this video with them. I will be creating more videos soon, so thank you in advance for your support. And remember that this channel is to help people to live a more fulfilled life through travel, wellness, and experiences. Bye. If you liked this video and you found this information helpful, make sure you check out more information on my blog. That's www.sunnydaysandpalmtrees.com for more travel, wellness tips, travel guides, and more. And I'll include a link in the description below.